Welcome right back. Like 12 hours since I posted the last video. So, for people that work on cars, do you ever just lay down at night and you're trying to figure out the issue, and then all of a sudden the light bulb just, and you're like, that's it? Well, that's what happened to me last night, except for it wasn't so much a light bulb that went off, it was my common sense saying, Anthony, if a wire is supposed to be getting 12 volts and it's not, then just add a wire to give it 12 volts. I'm Einstein. You hear that, Jeff? I'm Einstein. Get over it. That's what I thought. So yeah. And guess what? I fixed it. So I've been saying that the cam sensor, crank sensor, they either get 0.5 volts or they don't. I'm sorry. This is why you got to Google fact check me. Yes, they get a reference. So each plug. I'm gonna talk to you like this because my shoulder is burnt out. Your mom's getting heavy. Each plug has we'll just say those two plugs, cam sensor, crank sensor. They're a 3-prong plug. They got 3 wires. One is constant 12 volt, one is 12 volt reference, and then I believe the other one is just the signal to the ECU from the ECU, vice versa. Google fact check me on that. I did a brief Google search on the wiring, cam sensor wiring, and it's essentially the same as the crank sensor wiring. Remember, crank sensor is down on the side of the block behind the starter. Cam sensor, back of the block for a Gen 3 engine. And it was the red wire. Let me show you. So, I can't. I gotta. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna show you after I show you I fixed it. The red wire run into the plug. It's supposed to be getting 12 volts. Wasn't getting 12 volts. That was the only issue. So, what you just saw was this straggly wire. All I did was open up the red wire at the cam sensor plug, and I just ran it directly to the battery, so it's getting 12 volts. And lo and behold, guess what? You are correct. I'm Einstein. You can call me the Einstein of LS swaps. Please don't. Please don't. Because when you mess something up, don't blame it on me. But if you do something right. But, no. Okay, look at here. Oh, I still got the key on. We'll just turn the key on for fun. Off for fun. Back on. And we will disconnect and reconnect. Also, I'm going to show you something else while I'm here. And that's read. So at the end of last video, when I was backing out and it died, it had nothing to do with the cam sensor. It was the mass airflow sensor just decided to stop working. I swear this car does not want to leave. It's just the dumbest stuff. So obviously this will be hard to tell if you don't have HP tuners and you don't have this setup right here. So where we can see intake air temp is 90 degrees. Or let's see if it's on here. I think it's on here too. If you don't have Dakota Digital, any day now. Damn. 60 seconds and 25 seconds for a quarter mile. Yep. Sounds about right for me. I thought it was on here. So, on Dakota Digital, you can get the air intake temp. I probably turned it off. But, so, if you got the intake air temp at 90 degrees, oh, this is touchscreen? You know it's good because it's obvious. You know, we're in Texas. Outside, it's still hot. 90 degrees, perfect. Now, if it shows like this is showing right here, it's saying the H2O. Water sucks. It really, really sucks. Mama said foosball's the devil. Sorry. Negative 39 degrees. It's showing that because it's not hooked up. And if you see a negative, yesterday it was showing negative like 40 something degrees. So that's how I know the mass airflow sensor is no good, because the mass airflow sensor has the 5-pin mass airflow sensor that comes on your Gen 3 stuff. Or, yeah, we'll just stick with Gen 3. It has a built-in intake. Why can I? Look, Einstein couldn't say some words either. He was German. Wasn't he? No, he was Australian. No. Anyways, that's how you know it's messed up. The intake air temperature is built in to the mass airflow sensor because it's a 5-pin sensor. It's all in one. So that's how I know that was messed up. So I swapped that. Good to go. Now, we just went way off track. I apologize. Now, let's check the codes. I've already ran it because I drove it and put it in the garage. No codes. So, let's clear just for the hell of it. Let's start it up. Watch this. So there you go. Oh, well, let me just for the heck of it, let's do that again. No codes. So that is done. Now, what I have to do is actually splice that wiring in correctly. So let me pull the plug out. Oh, maybe I can get it right here. It's kind of a pain. What are you still doing down there, Jeff? Oh, you ain't got no legs. See if I've gotten any better at getting this plug out without having to take the intake off. Oh, just imagine hair. A lot of hair. It's in my way. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Here we go. There we go. Okay, now the next part is actually getting the plug out. There we go. Look at you. So, there we go. Hold on, let me get it to focus. Just got that red wire running to the pink wire on this. So this plug is the plug I rewired in. It's not the one that came out. So these colors are different from the actual harness wires, but the pink one leads to the red one, and the red one is what you need the 12 volts on. So I'm going to splice this in, and then I'm trying to think. I will probably just run it to, let me see. I might just cut this open and run it to the pink wire in here. Well, open up, you little devil. Pink wire in here because those pink wires have power when the key is on and while cranking. I think. I know. Oh, look what I did. Brand new. I left it on the header yesterday when I got it running. It's all right. Anybody want to send me a pair of new wire crimpers? So let me do that real quick, and then we'll bring you back. And then we will do a cost breakdown of doing this swap. Because I know I'm going to get asked. Somebody's going to message me on Facebook. Actually, I already got a message from somebody on a social media platform, and they asked me how much to do this exact swap if they bring me the car. Y'all,
I get that question so many times in just various builds. Y'all do not. No, I'm sorry, y'all do not. Y'all got to understand every build is different because every customer is different. That they like different things. They want it to look a certain way. There's just a lot that goes into it. So we're going to get into it after I fix this so that we can 100% be done with the car, because this is literally the last piece to the car that makes it 100% ready to go. Get in, drive it. Even with the tune I have on it, it's not dialed in, but it is plenty good enough to drive, as you saw 2 videos ago now when I went and took it out for its first test drive, and it ran like a bat out of hell, and then everything just went shit, which is normal. So the truck is coming today for it, and he needs to hurry up and get here before anything else breaks. I love this customer, but God, I'm trying to move on to the next headache is what I'm saying, because they never seem to end around here. But okay, let me do this and then we'll get into that. Okay, we are done. We are spliced in. It's back there. I didn't do it up here like I said I probably would. I ended up just doing it back there so that it was closer to the plug itself. But done. Works. Fixed. No codes. Starts right up every single time. Runs really well. Not dialed in perfectly, of course, like I've said 8 trillion times already in these past 3 videos. But definitely good enough now, much better now, to where you could probably get it on the highway and cruise. Don't take my word for it, because all I've done is put the pedal about halfway down, and that was that night I test drove for the first time, and it was running like a bat out of hell. I was honestly afraid to put the pedal all the way down. And you're thinking, oh, you shouldn't be doing that to a customer's car. Well, kind of have to, because if it's going to break, it has to break while it's here. Don't want to send this all the way back to Washington and not have tested it at least once, because that's kind of what every mechanic does after they fix something or build something or put something back together, is go test it. You try to break it. If it doesn't break, you're good to go. But remember, boys and girls, around here, we make the impossible possible. But okay, now let's cost breakdown. I can't give you an exact number. Maybe the customer will comment under this YouTube video and give y'all the exact number, but I can give you a very good estimate. So let's start with the engine. The engine is an actual LS1, so aluminum block, Gen 3. Okay, I'm gonna sit down while I do this because Daddy's tired. Aluminum block, Gen 3 LS1. He got that, I believe, from eBay on a pallet, probably around $3,500. It's all dependent. So prices on used LS engines is very dependent on where you live. Down in Texas, an LS1, depending on mileage, is $2,500 to $4,500. Also depends on how complete it is, but we're not going over none of that right now. We're just going over cost breakdown for this specific build right here that we're looking at. LS1, I'm going to guesstimate somewhere around $3,500. Transmission from Summit Racing, brand new, $2,200, I believe. LS1 intake came with the engine. Injectors came with the engine. Fuel rail with the engine. Coil packs with the engine. Valve covers, I think they were like 50 something on Amazon. Red spark plug wires, I believe they're around like 30-ish something. Headers, 300 from Speed Engineering. The entire accessory bracket setup, not including the dampener. So tensioner, water pump, brackets, of course, power steering pump pulley, power steering pump reservoir. Let's get over here. Alternator. All that by itself was like $1,300. The dampener by itself was $500. Power steering AN line, it was like 50 something on Amazon because it came with the fittings to go into the pump. Intake he got the little bit more expensive one because it came with a different filter that we couldn't use because it was too big. I believe that was 100-ish, somewhere around there. I usually use the ones that are like 57, 60 bucks because 9 times out of 10, all I really use is just the tube. This filter is from O'Reilly's. It's like 50 bucks, something like that. I'm just giving y'all rough guesstimates. The only thing I do know what it cost was the accessory bracket setup, the dampener, and the transmission. ECU, 160 bucks from eBay. The wiring harness from BP Automotive, that was $550. Radiator from eBay is like $200, I believe. Upper radiator hose was $35. Lower radiator hose was $0 because it was on the last engine and I just cut it up to make it fit. The swivel thermostat, 45 bucks. That oil dipstick tube that I do not like, do not recommend, but it works. That was 20 bucks or something about 20 bucks. Mass airflow sensor, 30 bucks. Battery cables from O'Reilly's, 25 a piece. Relay, universal relay, $13. O2 sensors were 50 a piece, so obviously 100 total. The ICT brackets, not 100% sure. I think they're around 100. Throttle cable, 25. Now, the exhaust clamps to clamp the header to the exhaust pipe that's already there. Those were 15 a piece, I believe. Something like that. These LS ECU mount brackets, 20 bucks on Amazon. And then you factor in oil, transmission fluid, wires, because you need a good amount of wire to wire the fuel pump. Fuel pump was about $420 from Holley. It's called the Holley Retrofit In-Tank Pump. This cap was 20 bucks, I believe, oil cap. So, I mean, he's got it. So, including labor and everything I just gave you parts wise, I'm sure I'm missing like a couple small things that I'm not even thinking about right now. I would guesstimate all in with labor, the customer is probably around. So labor to do this was $4,500. If you think that's expensive, go do it and see how you feel about that afterwards. Or go ask a shop. How about that? $4,500 plus the $2,200 for the transmission, plus we're gonna say $3,500 for the engine. That right there is about $2,300.67. JK. You're already 10K into it. Not including the miscellaneous little knick-knack stuff. The knick-knack stuff is what always gets your cost up in the end, because you think, oh, I got the engine, transmission, harness, computer, we're good. Not even close. That's like 40% of the swap. Everything else, knickknacks. I can't even. Let me try and think of what knickknacks are, like, as much as possible. Throttle cable, miscellaneous bolts, miscellaneous brackets, plugs to plug vacuum ports, wire. You need a lot of wire. Wire ends, radiator hoses, radiator clamps, belt. You don't even know until you get into it, but that's just a base to give you an idea. It keeps going until it's done. To be honest with you, you'll think you have everything,
and then you'll get into it, and the next thing you know, you just spend another $150 at Amazon, or on Amazon, or at the parts store, or eBay, because there's just stuff you can't even think about at the beginning. You don't know until you get into it. So I'm gonna guesstimate this customer was somewhere in the realm of, I'm gonna give it a kind of a good little gap, 12 to 15K for the swap. That is running, driving with the tune. Oh, the tune also. So to tune on HV tuners, you need credits. Most PO1, which is your Gen 3 drive-by-wire, drive-by cable ECUs, they typically take 2 to 3 credits at $50 a piece. This one took 2 credits, so that's $100 to add to the knick-knack category. But all that got you. Oh, that's not including the cam, so I didn't even figure in cam cost, which Trunion upgrade, brand new push rods, brand new. Oh, the heads. Oh my gosh, I forgot he bought the heads. Ready to go. 243 heads, resurfaced, new, everything with springs. They're $1,200 by themselves. Cam kit, roughly $500 by itself. So yeah, he's definitely pushing 15K on this specific setup. It's not the same for every setup. But I just need to give you guys a rough estimate, because I get people that contact me, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because you don't know until you ask. I will never look down upon anybody or be like, oh, you're an idiot. You don't know until you ask. I know a lot of people are new to this. That's why I'm here, to help people new to this. But if you are paying somebody to do the swap for you, you will, at a very minimum, very, very, very minimum, be pushing 10K at least. So your budget needs to be, and that's a base Gen 3. That could even be a bone stock 4853. That's the very base number I'm going to give, is a minimum of 10K if you're paying me my $4,500 labor charge to do your swap to where it runs and drives, it moves under its own power. I will do my best to get it, where it's running and driving like this one, as I've done most of my swaps that way. Most of them, you can drive them out of here, especially since I tune now. But I'm not saying this because I need to make money, because of course I need to make money now that you know what's happened in my life. But for $4,500, y'all do not understand. I mean, you can go back and watch it, part 1 through part 9. I did all of that, $4,500, and I'm not saying that in like a, oh, boo-hoo, feel sorry for him way. That's just what I charge. If you feel that's too much, I'm just saying, go ask around, see what somebody else would do it for. But yeah, that's it. I just had to get that out there and put it in this video. I haven't done that before and giving you guys like a rough estimate breakdown. I just wanted to be very specific. I'm sure y'all are tired of looking at my face now. I just wanted to be very specific with this build, because these are very popular now, and a lot of people have them, and a lot of people want to do this, but they don't know where to start. They don't know who to go to. They don't know who to ask. I guess that kind of fits in with they don't know who to go to. So we'll go back to 2 fingers. But there you go. That is a cost breakdown. You can, if you want to go back and configure all my guesstimates and, figure out, but I can almost guarantee you he's at a minimum 14 to 15K into this right here. But that's running, driving, reliability, durability, get in, turn the key, go, insane chop. Y'all, I posted many videos of this bad boy just blah, 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 blah. And man, this bad boy, this is the baddest build I've done to date, without a doubt. I can't even begin to tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys that watch my videos, buy a shirt. I don't have any anymore.
Just support me in any way. Huge shout out to this guy for trusting me enough to ship this from Seattle to the middle of Texas. And I've had this for months because of my wife passing, and this should have been done a long time ago, but this was a 3-week take the engine out of the trunk, take the old engine transmission out, put everything in, running, driving. To be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if how it is now that I've fixed that issue, I wouldn't be surprised if even with my tune, he couldn't drive this home to Seattle. Look, you gotta have confidence in what you do. I'm just saying. But yeah, huge shout out to this guy. I appreciate you so much. You've been a great customer. I can't thank you enough. Hopefully we can get some more work in so I can make some money and bring you guys more builds and just keep on keeping on. But until then, me and this hunk of junk, we'll see you on whatever comes next. Peace up. A-Town down. Or whatever the kids said back in '01.